Hello, I'm back. Welcome back to Love My Crafts. And this is for the hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate. And it is my sewing dice game. So, if you remember last time I rolled a 5. And I had bag number 5, which had a pattern in it for a fabric basket, and it also had my fold and go grocery bag, which I still haven't put back together. And as much as I love these, I did not make one of these. So welcome if you're new, and welcome back. If you're not familiar with the hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate, you can type in the hashtag and see all different kinds of videos. And it's basically where you have a lot of fabric and you don't know what to do with it, and it's been sitting on your shelf. So you grab some of that and you either spin the wheel to pick the fabric, and then the wheel decides what you're gonna sew. Or in my case, I took 5 different either unfinished projects or things I knew I wanted to make, and I put them in 5 different bags. And I don't have a spinner, so I roll the dice. And then I have to make something with whatever's in the bag. Sometimes I have a pattern, sometimes I don't. Or sometimes I have a pattern and no fabric, and I have to figure that out. So this time, it was some fat quarters and some of this. It's a very weird texture. Some kind of, it says denim, but it feels very polyester-y, like outdoor fabric type stuff. And it's very pretty, but it's not like canvas. It's not very versatile, I guess you would say. So I guess it would make a good bag, and that's probably why I had that in there as an idea. And I have a lot left, so I might just do that in my spare time. Before you ask, I'm wearing the Love Notions Laundry Day tee. And no, it's not a V-neck. There just seems to be some kind of a pinch in the neckline. And this one I made last year, so it was very snug up here, and I didn't like it. And it's still kind of snug, but it's also now very loose and long. So that's what's happening to my shirts. They're getting loose and long, but that's okay. So what did I make? Are you ready? So I used this pattern from So Let's Sparkle with Sam that I had gotten off her website. It is no longer on her website, and it is called A Lovely Fabric Caddy. But there are videos, and there are the kind of videos where it's just music and then little print instructions on the screen. And I had to use them because there was a couple of things I wasn't sure about, and I didn't want to mess it up, which I did actually because I made 2. I messed it up on my second one, and I had to unpick a bunch, but that's okay. So it's basically, you sew a 15-inch square right side together, and you have a layer of fusible fleece to give it a little bit of cushion. And then it's almost like a bowl cozy where you fold it in half and you do the corners, and then you fold it in half the other way and you do the other corners. And then from there, I have something really heavy in it. Let me go to this one because this is my first one. Sorry. From there, you end up with, these are usually sticking out, and then these are usually standing straight up. These. So I have a bunch of my leftovers in here. So you end up with a square, like a basket. And what I did was, you take these are usually sticking out like this, and you flatten them, and then you hand sew the corners, which I'm terrible at, but I did it. And then you're supposed to, in the pattern, put a button at each of these corners. You fold it down and you can put a button, or a snap, which I thought about the snap, and I don't know why I didn't do it. I tried sewing on a button, my needle broke in the button as I was doing it. And I'm sitting up here, I have hand sewing needles, there's probably some behind me somewhere, I have some downstairs, I have some in my room, but I only had the one and I broke it. So I fabric glued, and it's not holding very well, especially on this, because it's kind of, I don't know if you can see how, it's kind of shiny, so it doesn't stick very well, but I might just tack it down. This one I could tack down because I have the right color thread. Anyway, so with this, you could put fabric scraps in there, like this. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. You can put your seam ripper. You just want to put some scissors. You could throw all kinds of things in there. I don't know. Some pretty scissors. And then you could use the pockets for whatever. You can put your markers, your pens, things like that. So that was one. And then this has the heavy stuff in it. I don't know why. Then I made this one. Now, here's where things went a little crazy, because why not? I took out this fabric, and I have the piece over here, and I was trying to iron it because it had, you know, it had been folded, so I was trying to iron it with my old iron. And oh, and the only thing I don't like about this is I use dark thread, and you can see it, but anyway. So I tried to iron it, and then apparently my ironing board was so dirty, my ironing board cover, I think it was my new iron or my old, no. I have my new iron, which is right here. It's just a Black & Decker. I gave up on looking. I read reviews and they were decent. So I went to iron it, and I was trying to get the steam to work, and it doesn't work until it's really, really hot. So then it started dripping liquid. So then I was trying to dry the liquid, and this was, I don't know if it was face down on the ironing board cover, but you can see it here. It picked up anything that was dirty on the ironing board cover, and it's on the fabric now. Luckily, it only happened in this one spot, so I was still able to get this out of it. So then I went down the rabbit hole of I need an ironing board cover. So let me get this guy off of here. Now he's stuck. Oh, and then I also tried to use my pressing cloth, and that got dirty too. You see that? It just picked up all of anything that had ever been on there. Gross. I only saved that because I have to wash it, but I wanted to show you. So I decided I needed to make an ironing board cover, so I got off track, and let's see if I can bring her in here. No, I can't. No, I'll just take it off. So what I did was I took off the ironing board cover, I washed it, then I soaked it in some OxyClean. It still has that brown film on it, whatever that was. It's probably from spray starch or who knows. But I washed it really good, and I took off one of the pads that was underneath, and I used that as a pattern to cut out and go like 2 inches past that. And I put another layer of cotton batting to make it a little bit more squishy. But it's hard with this because it's tied down to my cart, so things can't wrap around the side. But anyway, this is the fabric I picked. It's a Lorelei Harris Sewing Ladies. Oh, sorry. And all I did was, and it was very difficult, you know, on the corners and stuff. There is a better pattern where you cut it out and you leave 3 inches, but then you add a bias binding, and that would go around the corners better, and you make a channel out of that. I was lazy. I just folded it over 1/4 of an inch. I folded it over maybe 3/4 of an inch so I could fit some elastic, and I made this. So when it goes on, it doesn't go all the way over the edge, which if it did, it wouldn't go anyway because it stops at the cart because it's strapped on there. But it's a little short on the sides. I don't remember how it goes. Anyway, a little short on the sides, but it's very pretty, and I like to have something very dark because then it doesn't show the stains, but when you don't see the stains, you don't realize what you're doing when you get them all over your fabric. So, caution, I guess, either way. So, not only did I make these two things, I also made an item board cover. So, that was unexpected. Leave it to the fabric wheel of fate to get me to do something different. You can use them for like your face washing pads, and then you could put your soaps or something, well, wouldn't fit too much, lotion maybe, or you could just fit it all in there if you have a bathroom that's just yours and nobody's gonna knock it over. Or you can use it for in the sewing room, in the kitchen. I haven't decided yet. It's very cute, very pretty blue colors. So that was successful, and now it's time to roll the dice again. Let's go see. Okay, are we ready? Let's see. So anything except for 5. Here we go. We'll try that again. Number one. Number one, let's see. Oh boy. Wish me luck. I'm kind of not excited about this. I have to think long and hard what I want to make with this. It is it's almost a swimwear texture, but it's not. What is I think they call it ITY. I'm not even sure if that's what it said on the website. It's got some really funky pink in there. And of course the animal print. A dress would look really cute, but that's not me. I'm gonna make some kind of elevated t-shirt. So, because it's stretchy, so it'll be like a blouse, but a t-shirt. I haven't figured out exactly which pattern to use. I don't know. I had thought about it knowing that it was in this group, and I'm still not sure. So, stay tuned, and we will see what I come up with. Hopefully, I don't have lots of problems with it running on me, and I'll serge the edges if I have to, and maybe I'll come up with something nice that I could wear, you know, out in the evening. And there goes my phone again. So I have to go to work, but I will check back hopefully soon with something made out of this animal print crazy pink ITY fabric. Thanks so much for watching, and I will link below the hashtag and anybody else I could think of that's, I know, currently doing a series. I'm so far behind. I know Carole's doing one with thrifting, so Carole. Dizzy Quilts and Sews, Izzy is doing one, I think, or she might have finished. There's a few people doing it, so check out the hashtag and see what's going on, and maybe try the game for yourself. It really gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you do something a little different, or something you were just putting off because you didn't know what to make with it. Don't even know why I picked this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this type of video, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.